Now we're going to take a look at the volume of a cone, and we're going to compare a cone to a cylinder which has the same radius and height. Okay, so same radius and height. Now if you remember back to our rectangular prism video, we looked at a water example and comparing the two, and a cone is exactly the same as that pyramid in that case, where a cone, okay, the volume of 3 cones will fill up 1 cylinder. I'm not going to do the example again. You can ask me in class and maybe we'll do it in class, but the volume of 3 cones is going to equal to 1 cylinder. So that means that what we're going to do is we're going to take the volume of a cylinder formula and divide it by 3. So to do that, what we can kind of think of it as is that the volume of a cylinder, and I'm going to put that cylinder, CY, is equal to pi r squared times h. Okay? It's the area of the base multiplied by the height. That's the volume of a cylinder, and we've gone through that already. So that means that we're going to take, to find the volume of a cone, I'm doing a different color here. So the volume, and I'm going to do a subscript of CO for cone, is equal to pi r squared h divided by 3. And that should be CO, not CA. Okay, so volume of a cone is pi r squared h divided by 3. You're given that right here, volume of a cone, pi r squared times h divided by 3. So let's find the volume of this cone right here. We are given the height, and let's put that in there. This is the height, and this is the radius, which is perfect because that's exactly what we need. We need the height and the radius. So our volume formula for a cone is pi r squared h divided by 3. And when we plug that in, plug our numbers in, volume is equal to pi times r squared, so 3 centimeters squared, times h, which is 11 centimeters, and we're going to divide that all by 3. All right, so that is to find our volume. Now when we put it into the calculator, volume equals, okay, what we're going to do with the calculator, and I'm going to show this to you here, we're going to do pi, which is right there, so I'm going to use pi right there, times r squared, so 3 squared. Okay, I just squared the 3, and then I multiply it by the height of 11. Now, important here that we recognize that we are squaring just the radius, and we are multiplying in between. Some of you see the pi and r, and then you just do pi r, and that's all you do. In your calculators, you need to do pi times r squared. So you have to multiply the two, and then multiply by 11, and then we divide the whole thing by 3. And it is equal to 103.67 and some other decimal places, centimeters cubed. That's to find the volume of a cone. Okay, we plug it in and we find the volume. Now here's a slightly different one that has maybe a little bit more complications to it. We are given the diameter in this case here. Okay, so if we want to find the volume of this cone, we need to get the radius. Okay, so radius is equal to 14 meters. Okay, it's half. Then we're given slant height. We need to find the regular height. So I'm going to do that just down here on the bottom. I'm going to do it off to the side, and I'll do everything else there. So we're going to do slant height to regular height. First things first, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. Okay, except that now we're going to do c squared minus a squared is equal to b squared. Okay, and the reason for that is because we have, let's see, our radius is going to be a, and our height is going to be b. Okay, the reason for that is we have our hypotenuse now, and we're going to know our radius. We may not know necessarily our height. When we plug that in, c squared is 50 minus 14, our radius, Don't use the diameter, you always use the radius, and that's going to equal to b squared. And I'm going to do this fairly quickly here. B is equal to, let's do the calculator. So we got 50 squared minus 14 squared, and I keep doing that, is equal to that. We take the square root of that number, of our answer, and it is 48. So that tells us that B is 48 meters, or our height is 48 meters. Okay, so this is how we solve for our regular height. We go backwards from the slant height. All right, then now we can find volume. We know the radius and we know the height, so we can find the volume. Volume is equal to pi r squared times height divided by 3. So plug in our numbers that we know now. Volume is equal to pi. Our radius is 14 meters squared. Our height is 48 meters. And we're going to divide that all by 3. Volume is equal to, let's see, this is pi times 14 squared. We're going to get a big number, by the way, which is okay, times 48 divided by 3. Big number. Okay, big numbers are okay. We can. That's definitely not a problem. Okay, so we have 9852.03. So our volume is 9852.03 meters cubed, and that gives us the volume of our cone. All right, so that is your the lesson there. Your assignment is going to be everything all the way to 10. That will be pyramids and cones. So we'll just put that in here on the side. It's ME.07, numbers 1 to 10. Okay, ME.07, numbers 1 to 10. Make sure that you are showing your work. Make sure that you are differentiating between slant height and height if it needs be. Remember, for volume, we always need height.